because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
What's up? Welcome to Back Television, episode 73. 73. Yep, we will be talking about school to prison pipeline. Yep, I want to show my name is VP
Troy Everett.
I'm drumming, y'all. DJ Drumtastic. Thanks for joining in.
Great intro. It's great intro, Sharif. Love the enthusiasm. Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's see what we got. We got the roll call going on. Let's see where everybody's tuning in from. We've got Miss Deborah Jones. Good evening. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. So whoever's out there, go ahead and type in where you at or where you're from and who you are. Be glad to acknowledge you here on the show.
Yes, where you calling from? Where you at? What's your weather like? All that good stuff.
Yeah, how's your week doing?
Yep.
We got Sheena Lowry Brown. Good evening. Good evening. Grand Rapids, Michigan in the house.
Thank you for joining in, Sheena.
Thank you for joining in, Sheena.
Oh, there goes Art.
Yep. Sup, peeps?
Oh,
Sitting in Cincinnati.
Oh.
He's in Cincinnati.
You going for them Bengals, Art? You going for them Bengals?
Yeah, I wonder if he's probably got he's probably got 50-yard line seats. You know, he's a big baller. He travels all over the place.
Okay, Art. So we're gonna have to wait till he comment back. Art, who you going for, Art? Tell us who you going for.
We appreciate you coming on. Art's one of our regulars. We love Art, man. That's our brother from another mother.
From another mother. Thanks, Art. Okay, I'm gonna put up this link in case anybody wants to jump in and come on in the green room. Oh, he said Cincy is his pick.
Okay, you got Cincy. All right. You got Christine Pope. Hey,
all right.
Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, thank you for joining in.
I wanted to before we get started, I wanted to do a quick reminder that we started creating other content. We have another show that comes on during the week. It is called The Royal Court. If you missed it, we talked about Mr. Ed Reed.
Ed Reed.
Yeah, so if you go on the YouTube, you can get some inside information on that. And Friday, tomorrow, I believe 6:00 p.m., we'll have another episode where we'll be talking about who is the king of the ring. It's kind of hard to tell nowadays since nobody wants to fight nobody. Man. Everybody's ducking and running from each other, trying to hold on to that unbeaten record.
That is true.
Like Floyd.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Don't get
started on Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
you know, he's one of my top 5. You know,
he's one of your top 5. So where does he sit in your top 5?
Yeah, what number?
Whenever
1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Number 1.
Who?
I think Floyd number 1.
Floyd?
But I'm gonna take this
of all time.
Hold up, let me take this back. Mama Ali, I respect him, you know, because that was his the time with my dad watching and stuff. So I understand. But Floyd master boxing.
Sharif.
Man, he's only got 50 wins, man. You talking about he's massive, but he's only fought 50-something times. He got 50 times.
Wait, Troy. Let me just say this one thing. Let me just say this one thing.
I gotta give it to him.
Hold on, Sharif. Floyd wouldn't have no defense, no shoulders, no none of that if it wasn't for Ali. You know what? You need to put duct tape.
You know what? But you know what? Think about it. Ali got hit a lot. Ali was the best. He got hit a lot and everything.
Defense.
I'm not taking it from him.
Offense was Floyd came.
Let's get the people's opinion.
Yes,
okay,
please.
so
hold on.
Put Floyd Mayweather, the greatest boxer of all time, number one.
Number one.
That guy. He said it. So what do you guys think of?
Wait, hold on.
He says, "Oh, Gary needs to be on that one." He think he knows all of boxing. Well, get him on. Tell him what his nephew said.
Yeah, where my dad?
It's gotta be a big argument.
Art says you're crazy.
Yes, you're double crazy. Here, I'm gonna give you this.
In the era of Sugar Ray, he would have been killed.
Man.
He said killed. He said killed.
Sharif, Sugar Ray and Hearns, Sugar Ray Hearns and Hagler, and even Duran would have knocked him out.
Let me tell you something.
Real fighters.
Let me tell you this. Every person that comes to Floyd and they say they're gonna knock you out, guess what? When they fight him, they say, "Oh, I cannot hit him."
Like we said, go ahead, make sure you guys go ahead and watch that episode. We talk about this, but like I said in that episode, what happened to him fighting Winky Wright? If you guys remember that, they signed a contract to fight Winky Wright and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather beat Winky Wright. They never fought. He pulled out.
Oh, Winky Wright is a different weight class.
Yeah, but they had a contract signed to fight. Wouldn't last 2 rounds. I agree. What's this one? Tommy the Hitman Hearns would have made Floyd go night-night.
Sleep. In the first round, he wouldn't went to sleep with Hearns. All that shoulder stuff.
Man, how can you? Again, like I said, he's only fought 50 times. So we're looking at all these boxers.
Everybody gonna be mad about it.
No, I'm not saying that. That's your opinion. That's fine. That's your opinion. That's who you like. But putting him on the pedestal, everybody puts him on a pedestal. But if you go back and look at, who was it? Duran had 80. He was 72-0.
Right.
72-0 before he even lost. 72-0, and then had 100 and something amateur fights.
Okay, right. The time is different.
Yeah, well,
so in other words,
doesn't change.
Hey, Troy, what you should be saying, Sharif, is Floyd Mayweather is number one in this era, not all time. In this era,
I still say Pacquiao is a better boxer.
Yes,
I still say Pacquiao is the better boxer.
Until Pacquiao was damn near dead before he fought him.
Based on his record, even though he lost 4 times, based on his record and the weight classes that he moved up and the competition that he fought everybody in their prime, didn't duck or dodge anybody.
I'll give him his prime. He went to the weight class.
Okay, so yeah,
we can argue all day, but let's get back to Indian bar.
Yeah, we would definitely argue about that all day.
Hey, because we for sure got an idiot today.
Y'all gonna get mad.
I like Roy Jones too. He was one of my favorites.
Man, ain't no way Floyd could be above Roy Jones on no list ever, or Sugar Ray Leonard.
Well,
Roy Jones is the beast. Yeah, I give it to him. But
yeah, well, like I said, everybody has their opinion. As a boxing fan, I think Floyd Mayweather, I'm gonna give him his props. He is the best defensive fighter of all time. The best defensive fighter of all time. He did not get hit much, and what he did was he brought the the amateur to the pro. So he would beat you on points. I'm not paying for a Floyd Mayweather fight. I'm not going to sit there and watch because I would be asleep after the 6th round.
Because this is what he do the whole time. He on his bike.
Now, Pacquiao, exciting. Everybody loved to watch Pacquiao fight. Everybody loved to watch Pacquiao fight.
Y'all gonna get mad. Y'all gonna get mad at me about this part. Y'all gonna get mad at me about this part.
Look at us.
Oh my goodness!
A whole bunch of them.
Yeah, we're gonna let Sharif have his say, and then we're gonna move on. What were you gonna say, Sharif?
Say it again.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I said, I would have to throw a whole bunch of turkey knuckles.
No, before that, you said everybody's gonna be mad. Yeah. You said everybody was gonna be mad.
Yep, I was gonna say something about Pacquiao part. Don't take it personal in that part. The drug.
Yeah, we go ahead and go watch our episode of the Royal Court where we're talking about that. Because that drug thing didn't come up, or nobody said anything about him until he was getting ready to fight Floyd. That's when the rumors started flowing.
So we're gonna move on. Hey, we got
we're gonna move on for that.
We got Miss Nicole Brown that came on. Thank you for joining in, Miss Nicole Brown.
Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, thank you.
We also have who else came on? Oh, Mrs. Beaches Brown as well. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Again, we were talking about the other content that we are creating. I'm going to put it up there real quick. Ed Reed has already been out there, so if you go on our Facebook, you can watch that where me and Drummer are talking about was Ed Reed right or wrong. And then tomorrow at 6 p.m., me and Sharif will be debating on what we were just debating about 3 minutes ago. Royal Court, who's the king of the ring? So make sure you guys check out that content. Go on our YouTube. You can see it there and replay it if you miss it. Make sure you guys share too. Make sure you guys share some of the content for us. We'd really appreciate it. It'll help us out. But tonight we're going to be talking about the school to prison pipeline.
That's a real thing, y'all. If you don't know, that is a real thing. It makes me angry and sad at the same time.
Yeah. So we got a quick video that we would like to show. It kind of explains what it is if you don't know what this topic is about. So I'm going to
transition it.
There's this phrase that you might hear in the news sometimes, the school to prison pipeline. It's shorthand for how schools are funneling students, especially black students, into the criminal justice system. It started in the 90s when schools responded to fears about crime with zero-tolerance policies, which mandated suspensions and expulsions for certain violations. They also cracked down on little things like talking back or uniform violations. The hope was that it would keep bigger problems from bubbling up. But as a result, out-of-school suspensions have doubled since the 1970s, and they keep increasing even though juvenile crime rates have now been dropping for years. Around the same time, the number of police officers stationed full-time inside schools has increased by a third between 1997 and 2007. Ostensibly, they were there to prevent mass school shootings like the one at Columbine, but they end up being a way for schools to basically outsource discipline to the police. Schools with officers have 5 times as many arrests for disorderly conduct as schools without them. Sometimes the results are shocking. But the less visible effect is that schools are feeding the racial disparities in the criminal justice system. Consider the fact that schools are more likely to have an officer on their campus if the student population is more than 50% black. You might assume that that's because there's more crime at these schools, but although students at police schools are more likely to be arrested, they're not actually more likely to be charged in court for weapons, drugs, alcohol, or assault, at least according to one study. During the 2010-2011 school year, 1 in 6 public school students in the US were black, but they accounted for 1 in 3 arrests at school. Same goes for other forms of school discipline. Black students are suspended or expelled 3 times more frequently than white students. It actually begins in preschool. 18% of preschoolers are black. But of all preschoolers suspended more than once, 48% are black. Studies show that differences in behavior can't fully account for these disparities. Black students and white students are sent to the principal's office at similar rates, but black students are more likely to end up with a serious punishment. One study found that white students are more likely to be suspended for provable offenses like smoking or vandalism. Black students are more likely to be suspended for subjective offenses like talking back or insubordination. Students who are suspended in school are more likely to later drop out or get arrested. So the federal government is asking schools to make suspension and expulsion the absolute last resort. In Oakland, California, public schools are trying something called restorative justice, where both parties in a conflict talk it out with a counselor instead of relying on punishment. The results are pretty encouraging. In the last 10 years, chronic absenteeism is down, and graduation rates are up in the schools that have tried it. Other cities and districts are also trying new policies. They're hoping that if their students end up in the criminal justice system, at least it won't be because the schools pushed them there.
Yeah, so that's the topic today. It's sad, and there's a lot of people out there that will say that this is a myth and this doesn't exist. But I do some consultation and work for the National Center for State Courts, and in Kentucky, they see the disparities of crimes given, sentences given to black kids compared to white kids when they do the same crime. Now, this is a program that's in Kentucky. It's called the Designated Worker Program. It's in Kentucky Administrative Offices of the Courts. Now, they've done a study. They have seen the disparities of how harsh the penalties are for African Americans compared to other ethnic groups. So this is not a thing that's not going on. It is definitely going on. So Jody says, I read something about Tommy, the hitman Hurds knocking out Floyd. I bet the conversation had something to do with Troy and Floyd. Okay, yeah. You're a little bit late. But
I said,
yeah, it was me and Sharif.
You see what I said, didn't you?
Yeah, they're not even.
You didn't read what I said.
Oh, what'd you say?
Read what I said.
It says, "Oh no, I'm with Troy on that." Floyd Mayweather runner.
No, read that again. Floyd Runweather, not Mayweather. Runweather, because that's all he do is run.
Yeah. So back to the
Tell Jody.
That,
Tell Jody. Wait. First, tell he wasn't here. Jody, tomorrow at 6:00 on Facebook, we have another show called The Real Court where Troy and Sharif will be talking about boxing. You can tune into that, and if you miss it, you'll still be able to see it on the playback on Facebook. Now we're going to it.
All right, Jody, we're talking about the school to prison pipeline. That's what we're talking about, and that's what that video was about. And talking about the youth, and it is a real thing happening. I know we got some. I know we have some educators out there, Miss Barnes and others. What the question I really have is, why do we have police in our schools? Why do we have, when it comes to this, the prison to pipeline or the school to prison pipeline, we have officers placed within our schools? Do you guys agree with that? Yay or nay?
I don't know why that started. I graduated, I know it was a long time ago, but like we were saying, Troy, we just had somebody who was like the security guard / hall monitor guy who was cool. He talked to you, he would tell you no running and stuff like that, but we didn't have any police. They would call the police if there was something going on, but didn't we have officers in our high school, guys? That's what Art's asking, Troy. What
we had were the people that we had were security guards. They weren't part. Yeah, they weren't part of the Grand Rapids Police Department. They were actually hired by the Board of Education to be there. So if we got in trouble, like Art never got in trouble. Like when I got suspended, it would be because I may have gotten in a fight or something like that, but there were never any criminal charges brought upon the two people that got into the altercation. So they were actually hired by the Board of Education. So yes, we did have security guards that were there on our campus. Stokes was his name. He was a great guy. He was really good with the people that were there.
Yeah.
I worked with youth for 15 years, and I agree with the statistics in that video. Yeah, the statistics are those are facts. Those aren't.
Yeah, when it comes down to the police in schools
over there.
My dog.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tree.
When it comes down to police in school, I think that they didn't have the uniform. But it give the kids like fear with it, But at the same time, all the police is not bad or nothing like that. But but talking with them, and having a relationship with the kids without having to fear. But if they do something wrong, you tell them, hey, don't do that.
Yeah. But what this is where this gets bad, Sharif, is you have officers of the law in high schools. Now, if there's an altercation, somebody gets hit or there's a fight, they're charging the kids.
Right.
Charging the kids with a crime.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
all the time at school.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. I don't think they did do that. That's why I'm trying to say you need to communicate with them instead of them taking them straight to jail.
One thing about that is the kids are different now, and the what the grown-ups are not used to is the kids mouth off now. So grown-ups have to learn how to not get all over angry about a kid saying some crazy stuff, because that's how the kids are now.
Yep. But
now the police are more like, I'm the authority, so you can't talk to me that way. I've seen videos where they're punching and grabbing and throwing high school student girls to the ground because the girl just was mouthing off. That's not right.
No, it's not right at all. Yeah, and then some of these kids. Go ahead, Sharif.
But not only that, when it comes down to the school system, you see the staff, all the staff, everybody. I'm talking about teachers, janitors, principals, security. They need to communicate with the kids because that helps for them not to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times when they do get in trouble, there are some teachers, schools that will have schools that be an alternative. Right? When they get in the alternative, some of them have that, so that way they can get better, so they go back to the regular public school, and they got some that will go straight to jail from there.
Yeah.
But that, first of all, I want to welcome my brother's. Wait, where'd it go? I want to welcome my brother Cedric Adams to the show.
Hey, Mr. Adams, thank you for joining in.
We're talking about school to prison pipeline. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead, Troy.
I was telling him if he has something to say, go ahead and chime in. Come on the show. We appreciate you coming on. But yeah, Sharif, I mean, yeah, they do have alternative schools in case some kids need some help. But are those alternative schools really helping? I don't know anything about these alternative schools, right?
I'm sure they help. They help some people. I know some kids that went on there and they learned from it, and then some of them went back to the public school, and some of them stayed there and graduated from there. And I'm talking about they working and everything, so it's better than just taking them straight to prison.
Right.
But a lot of times when you take them to jail or whatever, or if they get in trouble, and then they're gonna automatically be born, and they're gonna go straight to meet friends, to be in the gang, or do the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
And they go straight to prison.
Yeah, it's sad to see this even exist, honestly, and that just goes to show that how bad our school systems have become. For one, they don't pay the teachers enough. They don't pay the teachers enough. And you got some teachers, and I mean, older teachers are great, but we need younger teachers that can communicate with the younger generation. There's got to be a turnover or a balance of that when it comes to education. And
well, let's just say this, across the board, education, politics,
yeah,
you got to go after so many years because the times have changed. So the kids have changed. They're more aggressive. So you need younger people to deal with younger kids. You got a 50, 60-year-old teacher with some 15-year-olds. I mean,
what some of them got knowledge. Some teachers got knowledge, but some people don't know how. Some teachers know how to social, and some teachers don't know how to social.
We just got different kids now. They're not parented the same as they used to.
Art says he's not an educator, and he don't really. He's curious to know what educators they have to go through with conflict resolution. Seems that's missing, and I think that's a great point, Art. And I think you can't just teach math and science. You've got to be counselors too. There's got to be something because there's a lot of trauma with kids across the states. I mean, even prominent schools have problems also. Go ahead and read that one, drummer. Unfortunately,
I'm doing something else.
Okay, unfortunately, if and when we need of officers, we call them. I'm disappointed when they use their power inappropriately. I like the security officers in certain levels that I called secondary. I work in special education, and my population were SEI, severely emotional impaired. Bottom line is definitely a disruption to the mental health. Please pray for our educational system. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you for bringing that up. Again, that's I don't think there needs to be police officers in the schools. I don't. I don't see the cause for it. If you're trying to stop, the shootings, fine. But we see how that worked. The cops didn't even want to go in the school when the shooting was going on in the last school shooting.
No,
so
scared.
Yeah. They need to pay teachers a lot more. We need to invest in our educational system, period. I mean, everybody's talking about the damn border, when you're talking to politics, you're talking about the border, what our kids should be reading, right? I'm here in Florida. We got DeSantis as a governor, and he's trying to tell you what the kids should be reading and what they shouldn't be reading.
Right.
It's absolutely crazy.
I just think, when I was growing up, if I remember high school, when the school started, all those gates and everything were locked down. You only could get in the front entrance of the school. All the other doors was locked unless a student came out. So, first of all, not to get off, but we're talking about the shooters. How are the shooters getting in? That's the sad thing. If you got police at the school for the shooters, shouldn't they be outside around the perimeter? What they doing
inside policing the bad-mouthed children? Art says kids are different for sure these days, but they are kids. Absolutely correct. All kids, regardless of their upbringing, respond more positively and positive reinforcement that is consistently given. And yes, that's one. Art should be a teacher.
No, this is what we about to do right now. Clifford Porter.
Yeah, we need Crazy Joe. You guys remember Lean on Me, Joe Clark, where he locked the doors and locked everybody in.
Hey, it worked. Hey, Art, you got a lot to say today, buddy. So I'm gonna give you this link. Come back on, Art, because you typing a lot, and I know your fingers got to be hurting, and you're doing all that driving around, and you got to be pushing buttons. So just come on in the green room, Art, because you in this conversation.
he brings up a lot of valid points. You know, kids are different these days, but again, every generation is different. These kids working in higher education, these kids don't want to be talked to. They want to be talked with. They want to be part of the conversation.
Yep.
When we were growing up, it was
shut up.
Yeah, shut up and listen. Don't do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
If I tell you to jump, you ask how high.
Right.
You know, that's how we grew up. But
It's not like that anymore.
These kids want to be. If you talk with them, they'll listen. You talk to them, they're out. They don't want to hear anything you say. Or Adam. Yep.
They don't. And they feel like that they should get respect, no matter how older you are than them.
Right. Yeah, and again, that's just this generation. You got to understand. You got children raising children now. You don't have that grown up figure anymore.
Why don't you say that one more time, George? What are we having? What's happening?
We have children raising children.
Yeah, children raising the children.
Art, my man, Art, man, looking scruffy there, man. About time for a shave.
Yeah, it's all good, you know.
Yeah, you're up there in the cold.
I gotta grow the Santa beard, man. I figured I came on the other week when you weren't on, Troy, so I figured I better get on here. Otherwise, you're gonna feel all left out and stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna feel bad. Well, thanks for coming on, Art, man.
You don't look scruffy, man. You look good, man. You flipped it up a little bit. I like it.
I wore a hat all day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's got hat hair.
Yeah.
Cliff Reporter said these kids think they won't memorize and repeat anything you say. Teach them how to critically think. Yeah. They say that common sense is not common anymore.
So Art, you have a daughter, right? How old is your daughter?
Yeah, I've got a 26-year-old daughter with a 5-year-old granddaughter and a 22-year-old son and a 20-year-old daughter.
Oh, I thought you had younger kids.
No.
Me and Troy, I have a grandson that's 16.
Oh.
He lives in North Carolina, but I'm going to ask him when I talk to him, do they have police at the school? Because now that we're talking about this, I was wondering that.
Yeah, I mean, my kids in Tennessee, in Knoxville, they went to, one of the nicer schools, but even they had police officers there now that I think about it.
Wow.
Now, were they police officers or were they security? Because
no, they were Knoxville PD.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's where I think we need to draw the line. Yes, we appreciate them being there, but they're supposed to be out catching bad guys.
What
should
be.
At our time when we were to question, we had a police officer too.
We had a security guard.
We had a security guard and we had a police officer.
I thought we had one. I thought we had our senior year. I think they came in.
Oh, did they? Well, I was never in school my senior year.
Where were you at, Troy? Where were you?
Yeah.
I told you a couple episodes ago I emancipated myself, so I was probably at home asleep.
Troy, you got something to read there, Troy. Go and read what Jody said.
Jeez. I taught at a juvenile in Atlanta when I first moved here. We had training on crisis prevention and conflict resolution. That's awesome. And a plethora of classes similar to those. Observation of code workers gave me the opinion that everyone doesn't care. Not all actions were justified in my eyes. If we were a village, if we were a village doing the right things, the youth would follow suit. It takes a village to raise a child. Yes, it does.
It does.
Definitely does.
It does. Good point, Jody.
Great point.
Yeah. I'd be interested, we watched that video earlier. I'd be interested to see some studies, and I'm sure, Troy, you probably, have looked at these too, as far as I'm a big advocate for, making sure that we've got both parents in the house. I feel like the houses, the fatherless homes that we have out there in all communities, right? And I know it hits the Black community really hard, is probably one of the biggest key driving factors as to why we have such silliness out there with our youth today, right? Yeah. They don't have that foundational rock at home to be able to kind of, get them going in the right direction.
Right. And I think that you're absolutely correct. There should be, I'm not saying there has to be, but there should be a father and a mother figure in the home. It just gives more stability to the children. There's certain things a father can discipline or say to a man child or than what a woman can say to, a man child. And, for the girls and vice versa. It's just, I grew up in, with my dad. So there's certain things that I didn't get growing up that I would have gotten if my parents had been married. A lot of us come from those type of households, and you're absolutely correct. Even with our children, even with our children, you see a difference because, for one, like you said, the discipline that comes from a father is different from what the mother gives. The mother's nurturing, the father's. My dad was pretty hard, but go ahead, Sharif.
Back in the day, I mean, well, even now, there's a lot of kids down here that don't have a father around. A lot of them are locked up, so it makes it a lot harder for a single mother. And when it comes to school, they act up even more.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was a hellion when I was younger, man. Just had my mom, and my dad was long out of the picture, but fortunately, she had some brothers, my uncles, that were, kind of stepped into that role for me, which was fantastic. Now, Sharif, for you, there's no way in hell I would have wanted. Oh, sorry, I can't say that on YouTube. There's no way I would have wanted to grow up in your dad's house. No.
Mr. Brown was straight.
No, I still remember that trigonometry class, baby. I wake up with shakes, PTSD. Mr. Brown, no.
Yeah,
Bad.
Mr. Brown. Oh man, you couldn't have any excuses. So I had him for pre-algebra because I was terrible at math, and he would ask everybody would have to hand in their homework at the beginning of class. Then he'd ask everybody, why didn't you have your homework? And some people would make up excuses, and he'd like, the dog ate it or something. He said, well, you could have rewrote it. He'd always come back, well, you could have did this, you could have did that. So he'd come to me, Troy, why don't you have your homework? I just didn't do it. I wouldn't lie, I didn't have any excuses. Okay.
But what's crazy? I have my father as a teacher too.
You're in my class.
Right. And I'll tell you, I'm in class too, right? And I'll tell you what, he treated me like I was like everybody else, But my senior year, I had all the credits, and they wanted they asked me if I want to take math again, and I said, well, who's gonna be my teacher? And they said, Mr. Brown. I said, you know what? I don't want to do it. I'm done. I said, no more class for my dad.
You didn't want to get no class with your daddy.
Yeah, said Mr. Brown was cool at home, though. Glad I was never his teacher, and he is the most kind person you could ever meet, Mr. Brown. I mean, and a whiz on the grill, man. He made some burgers when I was up there up north, man. Oh my goodness, I don't know what he does. Oh, geez. Matter of fact, I would. He should open up a restaurant.
The last time I went there, he was up at the lake house, and ours is close to his. And I went down there, and he was making burgers. He said, "You want a burger?" I said, "Yeah." And we sat and talked for a long time, and I ate that burger slow too. Soaking up all info.
Nice.
Yeah, I ate my burgers quickly so I could get another.
I've never missed a burger personally.
Yeah, me neither.
But before he retired, the kids was getting worse.
Yeah.
The kids was getting worse.
Yeah.
It's a breakdown in our society. I just, if you look at it, they get worse and worse every year. But again, like Art said, there's different factors. One parent households, the breakdown of the family structure. You no longer have grandma there that looks over you. The aunts and uncles are now in different areas. They're not in you know, one uncle may live in Texas or somewhere else, and the family union is separated. It's not like it used to be.
No, and you know, I'll add that, you know, I mean, it's, you know, the bad behavior is getting rewarded. You know, TikTok, you know, you can share content these days, and you know, get that connection, get that affirmation. You know, you get 1,000 likes, you get 2,000 likes, you get, you know, your video goes viral because you're acting like a fool, right? And that's that positive affirmation that they're getting these days. You know, and even my kids, you know, I try to, you know, they're all older now, but you know, we tried to limit them as much as possible. But my God, they're freaking all over the internet and everything. And it's like, get out there and actually interact with another kid, another human being, instead of just being, you know, so computer driven. So there's too much negative reinforcement for their bad behaviors, but they're taking that as positive reinforcement, because society says that that's what they need to be doing these days. And that's just,
and you know,
it also, go ahead, drummer.
The U.S. is trying to do something in Congress about banning TikTok, because they say TikTok is influencing the kids with all the different challenges and tearing up the bathrooms and slapping teachers.
TikTok in China is actually used as a platform to educate their students.
Right. So the algorithm in China is completely different in TikTok. So if you go on TikTok, they're showing science projects, they're showing, you know, math problems and different things. They're rewarding for education and great information. But you got to understand who controls the algorithm for TikTok. China. So why not show the American kids all this garbage and they get rewarded for it, you know, half naked on the television, slapping teachers, or whatever new TikTok dance has gone viral. I mean, just stuff that doesn't mean anything. But like Art said, in China, they use it as an educational platform.
Correct.
I read.
No, that's in the government, drummer. They're actually trying to pass it to where no government issued phone can have TikTok on it.
Okay, they passed that one already. I read that. That's the one they passed. Now they're trying to go further with it. They did.
Yeah, there's certain states that'll probably get that done. I don't think they're going to be able to get that done federally.
No, I don't think so either. No. Too many people making too much money now off of it. It's too late.
It's even just unconstitutional. So can't. Yeah.
Now listen. Now it's just like really Instagram and Facebook. You got both sides to it. There is a lot of great informational things on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
I see both sides. Okay. But you can really control what you want to look at and what you don't want to look at. Because as soon as you start looking at ass, they throw that to you. But when you start looking at cooking stuff, they throw that to you.
Do you speak from experience with the ass?
Yes, Art. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I do look. I'm a man. Just like you look too. You be trying not to hurry up and look, but I know you look, Art. Yeah. But yeah, all about
ass master.
It's all about what you follow. And you know what? It's a lot of people that say social media and they go, and I say, you know what? It's really what you want to see. You control it. And once you look at the negative, they push it your way.
Yeah, but you know, we're of a certain age, not necessarily, you know, old school. We're just older, right? So, you know, we've developed, our brains are fully developed. We can, you know, we've been there, we've done that. We've got all this, you know, life experience, right? To be able to process through all of that crap and figure out what's truth, what's not truth. You know, you got a 20-year-old kid who's still just incredibly, what's the word am I looking for? You know, they're easily influenced, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and so they don't know up from down. I mean, you know, look what everything that's going on. Not just, you know, if you look culturally, you know, at what's going on in our society, from everything, from what we're talking about tonight, you know, from the school to the prison to what's going on and you know, all of, you know, the LGBTQ community and all that's what's going on there. You see all of these things that are happening nationally. And it's all being driven by narratives that people have an agenda, and they're utilizing the social media platforms, and they're targeting people who haven't fully developed
Right.
their thought process, their rational process. They don't know who they are, individually, right? Like, hell, I didn't know who I was. I was a cocky little arrogant 18-year-old, but I didn't know who the hell I was at that point, right? It's only after life experiences and everything that happens throughout the course of life to where it's now I can process through all that garbage and go, yep, that's trash, get that out of here, get that out of there, and it doesn't influence me, right? Right, Reef?
Yeah, it's just, you're right. You're right. 20-year-old. I don't think I knew who I really was until I was about 30. Really.
Yeah. Well,
started to figure out life and which way I was really gonna go. But you're right. If you get a 12 or 13-year-old, you can influence them, and they throw little subliminal stuff in there too on these TV shows. And stuff too.
Yeah, well, again, like Jody said, we're old school. Back in the old school days, you couldn't cuss on television. Now you've got, renditions of sex and cussing on it's prevalent on every channel. I mean, it's not
right.
Go ahead, Sharif.
Me personally, I can see that a lot of people invest in. I mean, people that got a lot of money, they invest into prison. So they don't get money back from it anyway. No, but for the school system, I thought the lotto, the money where everybody do lotto, was supposed to help the school system. But it gets like 28 cents per dollar.
28 cents per dollar.
Look at that, Troy.
What's that?
Go for the school system.
The brain is not fully developed until age 26. Thank you, Miss Barnes.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Until age 26, your brain is not fully developed. And our kids are inundated with so much information right now. It's just unbelievable. You got 12-year-olds thinking they could do heart surgery because they've seen it on YouTube, right? I do give them kudos because they're fearless. They're fearless. They'll try things, but again, like, you got to learn to be a surgeon. You can't just watch it on YouTube.
We were talking about crazy stuff, the way the world has changed. I just read something the other day that people from the LGBT community, if I didn't get the letters right, I'm sorry, they are upset with Aretha Franklin's song, Natural Woman.
Okay. Well, I left on that one. He was like, man, forget it. He's like, nope.
Y'all don't want to touch. Did nobody want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, what are they mad about?
I don't know nothing about it.
That's why I thought that was crazy to go along with this crazy world. There are
you got people that argue in pronouns. We're arguing about pronouns, whether you want to be a he or a she, him, her. He lost his connection. But Art was like, I'm out. But yeah, it's an Aretha Franklin song. You don't like it, don't listen to it.
I couldn't believe it when I read it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
See, that's the entitlement. Like everybody's entitled nowadays.
Right.
Because this song offends you because you think you're something other than what you are, then don't listen to it.
Don't listen to it. Go listen.
Don't buy it. Go listen. Yeah, right. Don't go buy it. That's the same thing with the Christmas song. It's cold outside.
Oh,
they're saying that was something that sounded like they wanted to get rid of that song because they thought it was
ridiculous, whatever they was trying to do.
Yeah, it was like abuse.
But it's been out years ago. So
that song is older than our parents.
Yeah.
Like, so they're trying to change history. They're trying to take what happened a long time ago. They're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
New world order.
That's exactly what it is. If anybody's has a chance, there is a book out there called Beware the Pale Horse. I just got finished reading that. It kind of blew my mind. Some of it sounded pretty crazy, but it actually predicted the COVID 20 years before it actually happened. I mean, step for step, how the government would release such and such, such and such. And I'm like, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, they probably read the book and took it out of there and made it happen.
I worked with several emotionally impaired students, and I gained respect from them by showing them love and respect. Yes.
I agree.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Love and respect. That's right.
That's on my reading list. Good. It's a great book. It is really good. It's the author of the book was part of the CIA. I mean, he's letting out a lot of information. Surprised the guy's still alive, but it's called Beware the Pale Horse.
Wow. Beware the Pale Horse.
Yep. And if you don't like reading, you can go on YouTube, and I think they have the audio book of it. And so you can go ahead and listen to it. It's crazy. Yep, I'm just waiting for the aliens to come. You see how I'm dead serious. You see how they're prepping you guys for that? All these alien and UFO sightings.
I need to go buy me some more guns then.
To wrap up the convo, yes, I agree. Minorities are more targeted with discipline. I feel it's more out of ignorance, fear from ignorance, and a complete loss of God in our culture. Art, you're absolutely correct. And that's one thing that I always say is, man, there is two. When people asked Jesus Christ, what are the two greatest commandments? The two greatest commandments. Can anybody out there tell me what the two greatest commandments are? And Jesus told everybody, these are the two greatest commandments. I'll give you guys a second. Art, you don't count. What are the two greatest commandments? When they asked Jesus, what were those? Silence, crickets. We got crickets, drummer.
I'm thinking, yeah, but I was sitting here thinking. I wasn't thinking about no crickets. I'm trying to think it out for myself. Where the crickets at? I don't know where they are, man.
You call Rob that love the neighbor.
Here we go.
Yep. Oh, that was one. One was to love. Love.
That's what Sheena said.
Yep. Beautiful. Be fruitful and multiply. Well, you got one right. The first one was love your God with all your mind, body, and soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And in the Greek for neighbor doesn't mean the person that lives next door to you. It's the person that is right next to you at any point in time. That is your neighbor. Now, think about that. Anybody that's standing next to you at any point in time, not the person that lives next door to you on the right or the left or behind you. Your neighbor, the Greek translation is anybody that's standing next to you at any point in time.
Jody need to come on.
Yeah, Jody, with your soliloquies.
Go ahead, Troy.
We have embarked on a new way of living. Times has changed. We have to adapt and adjust and be a step ahead of everything. Yes, we do. We are talking about it. What are some of the things that we can do to make a difference? Speaking of change, what would y'all feel about that chat GPT? The aliens are already here. If they had the technology to get here, they have the technology to be invisible to us.
Yeah.
Very good, Jody. But yeah, we talked about the chat GPT last week. That's a scary thing. I don't know if you guys have here it just says right. I don't know if you guys have seen Terminator, but that's exactly what they have just opened up. We are about to be invaded by aliens and robots.
Well, I know it's robots coming up everywhere. I don't know about no aliens, but okay, robots. I believe an alien when I see one. Until then, that's all movie shit to me.
Nah, man. To think that we're the only life form in this universe. I mean, there's billions of inhabitable planets with just our solar system. And there's billions of solar systems. So to think we're the only living creatures out there is just.
If it's aliens, here's my opinion. If there's aliens, it's what the YT people done made. They done made them like they made robots. Do anybody know what the YT people is? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Okay. I don't believe in no UFO. Like UFO movies and Star Trek, I can't watch them. I can't do it. You like Star Trek and all that. You like them vampire movies. You like that crazy stuff, don't you, Troy?
Who?
You.
Vampire.
Well, I like science fiction because if you look at all the movies that were in the past, all of it's come to look at the Jetsons. Look at the Jetsons.
You are right.
We watched the Jetsons, and you thought all that shit was crazy when you was a kid, talking to your friends on the television, you know, having cars that can drive in the air, you know, having a robot made. Y'all thought all that was bullshit. But look here, we're grown-ups.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoops.
I clicked on it already.
The Return of the Anunnaki. I spelled that wrong. Yeah, it's Anunnaki. And that's another thing. To go into deep research on that. Every ancient civilization talks about another person or being coming to the planet. There's a lot of stuff that we've been here for billions of years. It's not like, you know, this probably wasn't even our original planet. We may have came from somewhere else. Who knows?
It's gonna be people walking around with a square head, square like a TV and stuff like that, Troy.
Yeah. Ms. Barnes says, not real. Fake.
That's
Everything's
right.
fake.
That's right. I'm gonna laugh and clap to that. That's how I feel. Fake.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're right, Troy. The Jetsons and other stuff that have came to power. And how do you explain the Simpsons? You can go back and watch the Simpsons, and a lot of stuff the Simpsons
predicted.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Cartoons predicting the future.
Did they predict
The
it?
pyramids were built by aliens. Just saying. There's my tinfoil hat.
Oh.
I think the pyramid was built by Africans. Shoot.
Yeah, we built those.
Right.
We're just getting dumber and dumber as generations go along. We're just getting dumb. Like, watch this. What's your phone number, drummer?
My phone number 706-533. I know my number. And I know my wife's number. I know my daughter's number. I know my daddy's number, my mama's number, my sister's number. I know numbers, for real. But past them people, I don't know nobody's number. And you're right.
Much with creating space stations. We had ancient technology. You don't think someone else thought about leaving this planet before him? If you look at all the stars, they may have planets around them. I definitely believe in other life forms. I do too, Jody.
Okay, Jody.
Yeah, that's the example I'm giving you. Is like just in our solar system alone, there's 1 billion stars that there's with inhabitable. Jody's a novelist. Yeah. Hey, now that you say that, Jody is writing a book.
Now wait,
Jody is actually writing
all
a
this
book.
talking.
Oh, really?
After you doing all this talking, Troy, I'm looking at Sharif's face. Sharif, tell me what you think about all this. I was looking at the face while Troy was talking.
When I was younger, I was watching it. But do I believe in all that? I don't really believe in all that. But there are people that go ahead and try to find out about all that if they want to. I'm standing my land on the.
Okay, so what if just this is a hypothetical question. So what if there was a chance that this planet becomes uninhabitable? And it's a clear chance. It becomes uninhabitable. So your great-grandchildren are going to die on this planet. So you don't think they should be looking for other planets to go to? You think we should just go ahead and just say, fuck it? And
How they get up there? How they get up there?
What you say, Sharif? Our gallery, not our solar system, Troy.
Galaxy, you mean?
Well, he said gallery, yeah, but he meant galaxy.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking to Jody. Yeah, read the Bible. I've read the Bible.
Read the Bible.
I read the Bible.
She's probably just saying to people, read the Bible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, read the Bible. Don't forget to read Enoch, which they left out of the Bible. People don't even read that. They're like, oh, no, don't read Enoch. But yet Jesus mentions Enoch 2 times. But don't read the book of Enoch. Oh, what does it say? I'm convinced that there are Wookiees out there. I mean, how cool would it be to meet Chewbacca? That'd be awesome, man. Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett,
I'm gonna
Lando
be strapped.
Calrissian.
I'm gonna be strapped because I don't know none of them. I don't know them people. I don't know them.
What did Jody say? We are destroying it, and that's what Elon is preparing for.
It could be right. Elon is something with all that money.
Elon's a nutcase.
Hey, to be honest, Elon already looked like he done passed away and came back. He looked weird and pale. Where is his? He ain't got no color. He looked like a corpse, man. You know what he looked like? He looked like he passed away. They put his makeup and everything on, and then he just woke back up because he looked weird. I'm sorry.
He's an alien.
Man, something ain't right with that dude. He might be. I don't believe in no dang aliens, but he might be because he look weird, man. I don't trust him. I don't trust that dude, man. I don't trust that dude. He don't blink a lot. He don't blink. Anybody that don't blink a lot, you can't trust their ass. Sorry. What do you say?
Elon is a major contributor to destroying the earth with all the mining to make those batteries. Definitely true. Damn batteries. Oh man, we've got another show that's coming on tomorrow. Make sure you tune in at 6 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock already. We thank everybody for coming on. Make sure you share our content. Go to our YouTube. We really appreciate it. We love the conversations. We wish you guys would conversate with us a little bit more when it comes to the comments. Thank you, Miss Barnes, Art, Miss Brown, everyone that has commented, Miss Sheena, Miss Jones.
Now,
thank you so much.
Before we go, we can't. I got a few things I got to get out. Now, you guys, first of all, we cannot forget that blacklist. Okay, I'm gonna put this link out here before we go for the blacklist. That's where you can go put your business, your family, your friend business, or you can find businesses in there when you're in different cities and states and everywhere all around. And also, one more thing is this merchandise that we have on. Come on, show it. Sharice got on the hoodie. I got on short sleeve with a long sleeve under it, the hat, all that stuff. And I'm going to give it to you of where you can get that. You can get all that, the t-shirts and the hoodies and the merchandise right there on this link. I'm putting it up. I'm slow. Here you go. Hoodies, t-shirts, what you want, some on some socks, whatever you want. Your little coffee mugs, etc., etc., etc. So that's gonna be it. Idiot Box Television. Don't forget tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Royal Court. Sharif and Troy, they're gonna be talking about boxing. You know, who's the king? Who's good? Who's not good? Who's the GOAT? It sure ain't Floyd Mayweather. I tell you that. Who's the
make sure it's
sure ain't
tomorrow.
My opinion,
man, we gotta go. It's time to go.
Okay, well, our Royal Court. Yep, and I want to thank everybody for watching episode 73. And,
yes,
and I'll see you next week. 74. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all.
Watching Inequality Box Television.
We're in a lot of trouble because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusions.